welcome to Frankie Upcycles. You know, I changed my name and sometimes I have a little trouble remembering what it is, but anyway, it's Frankie Upcycles. So today I want to try to make a pair of jumpers. Now these are overalls, but I want to make a pair of jumpers out of this material right here. It's a little thicker material. Now my last video I tried to make some pants and they were lightweight, and actually there they are on the door. They were sort of lightweight and you could sort of see through them, so didn't think that was a good idea to be wearing out in public. So let's get started on this. Want to make me a jumper. Okay, the other day I was trying to make a pair of pants, and after I got them on and everything, I realized they was way too thin of material. So I want to make me another pair today, except this is going to be way thicker material, so I learned a lesson. I've already got it pinned all the way around. I'm fixing to cut it out. Okay, so I've got them cut out, and what I'm fixing to do is take the pins out first, and then I'm going to match them up. Okay, so just so I can keep up with what's what, I marked them with a little pink, so I'll know that this right here is my front. Sometimes after you take the pins off, they all be looking the same. So here's my wrong side, here's the inside, there's the right side. So what I'm fixing to do is I'm fixing to start way up here at the very top. Now this is my front because I marked it pink up here and on the crotch so I could keep up with it. I'm going to start sewing, and I'm going to sew all the way just to the crotch on both sides. So let's get to the machine and do it. Alright, so I started up here at the top and I sewed all the way down to my crotch right there, and I'm going to do that on the other side. Alright, so now I've got both of them done right there. So there's two pieces. The first thing, I got a pin in it right here. The first thing I am fixing to do is take it to my serging machine, and I am fixing to sew from the top just under the armpit on all front and back, right and left sides, because this part is the part that I'm just going to fold under and make a hem to complete the underarm holes. Alright, I've done that. I've serged it. If you don't have a serger, use a zigzag. It keeps the fraying down. And then I'm just fixing to take it to my machine over here, my regular machine, just fold it down and just do me a top stitch all the way down to finish up the underarm. Okay, so I've done that. Gave it a little top stitch. So now my armholes are finished. I'm fixing to take it to my serging machine and go across this top half right here. If I don't, I'm going to have enough to make me a wig. Anyway, I don't like to serge everything up until I know that it fits, but under the arm, you know, that's a given. Up through here, it's a given. But I don't serge the back yet or the front together yet, because I'm going to try to make sure it fits. Make sure, you know, I don't need to make any adjustments, because, you know, once you serge it off, it's off. Okay, so here's my front. I've already serged that off. Now what I'm fixing to do is I'm just fixing to fold it down, and I went ahead and put a little crease in it and pressed it. But now I am going, you know, normally on them other ones that I did, I used like a curtain at the top of a shower curtain. It's already got those little things for your shower curtain hooks. But on this one right here, I'm going to attempt to make my own buttonholes. So I'm fixing to sew this down right across here, and then I'm going to try to make me a buttonhole on both sides. Try. Okay, here's my buttonhole maker, and here's where you put your button. So no matter what size it is, you can stick that in there. you can stick that in there like that. Mash it down, and then this section up here is going to know how long to make that buttonhole. So whatever size button you put in here, it should compensate for what size buttonhole you need right here. Okay, I got my buttonholes in right there. I probably should have not picked such a big button, because, or I should have just folded it down more on this side, because it almost went up to the very edge to fit this button. But anyway, I'm going to put my seam ripper in there, and then I can open up that hole. Okay, so now the button will go through. Okay, so on those buttonholes, you know, I've always been a little leery of buttonholes, because, you know, I just never do it, because the little gadget, I didn't understand it. So I thought to myself, well, I've got the thing, it comes with the machine, I might as well learn how to use it. But before I learned how to use that, which was just recently, I would just get me a curtain, a shower curtain, and I would always just use the ones that already had the holes in them. So that, because that lined out perfectly, so that worked for me. So, you know, if you don't know how to use a buttonhole gadget, you know, it's pretty simple once you just do it a time or two. But until you do, or if you don't want to, if your machine didn't come with one of those, just get you a shower curtain or something that's already got the holes out in for you. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut me out 2 straps out of this right here. All right, I got them cut out. What I'm fixing to do is just serge this down through here and just fold it over, and then I'll have me my strap. Okay, so now I've got my buttonholes for the front, and this is my back. Here's my straps. And what I'm gonna do is I am just gonna pin them on there, just like this right here, and just stitch right across on both sides. Okay, so now it's time to sew the front to the back. I'm going to start on the sides. This is the back, and I'm putting right sides to right sides. And then here's my front. I'm going to start at the sides, and I'm going to do down both sides first. Okay, so since I've got them sewed down both sides, now I'm going to sew it down the crotch. Now, I am going to start at the crotch and match it up, and then just go down one leg. And then when I get that one done, because if I start at one leg and I go all the way around, you know, my crotch might be a little lopsided, you know, and I'll be walking like this. So I'm going to match them up first, start there, go down one leg first, and then I'll know that it's going to be even. Then I'll start right here at the same spot, and I go down the other leg. Okay, so I have got these sewed up, and like I said, I told you I always just sew them up regular before I serge them. And here's the strap. So I know I've made way too much strap, so you know I can easily cut that off and know my button's gonna need to be right about here. And like the same thing on this side, like that. But here's the thing. I normally, you know, I tried the buttonholes, you know, the first time I done the buttonholes on something I made. And so now I want to try, you know, I normally just put the pockets on the outside like that, but I would sort of like to have the pockets right here. So what I done is I cut out 4 of these, and I just laid my hand down like this right here, you know, big enough for my hand, and I just cut them out straight on the sides. So I would like to open these back up, and like I said, if I serged it off, I couldn't do it. Guess who I just knocked over and broke again? Dadgummit. I don't know how many times I can glue it back together. Oh well. You know what they say, stuff happens. So what I'm going to do, and I've already still got my mark there, I'm just going to line this up right through here and pin it. And I'm going to do the other side, line it up, pin it, and then I'm going to do me a straight stitch to hold it on. Okay, so I've got that sewed here, and this is the other side. Got it sewed down, so I'm going to flip them out this way. And I am going to pin them so they don't move on me. All right, and I'm fixing to take this seam, start at the top, lay this seam down. Got to get them matching. Okay, now start right here, go to here, and I'm going to go all the way around the pocket, and then I can go down the leg. Okay, so here's my underarm right here, so I'm starting right there. Got my seams right here together. Gonna go till I get to the pocket. Okay, now I'm gonna spin it around, and I'm gonna go around the pocket. Alright, now here's the end of the pocket. Make sure I got that matching up. I do. and then just go on down the rest of the leg. Okay, so let's see what that looks like on the inside. Then I give it a good press. And look at there, I've got me a pocket. But oh, you can't see. But anyway, I'm hoping it's not going to be too thick and buggy when I try it on. Okay, so before I sew them all up, I made me a little pocket to go at the top. I just cut out 2 pieces, one smaller than the other, and I pinned it on. I'm fixing to just sew it on. Okay, so here's my dilemma. I need to know what you think. I put that pocket on right here, and I think I did, you know, an okay job on it for my first pocket. But when I went to go do this side right here, it sort of, you know, it sort of bugged out, and I couldn't get it fixed. So I just cut it off and sewed this side up. So actually, I just got one pocket. So, you know, I said if I didn't like it, I'll just cut them off. But I like this pocket. It's okay. You know, it's not bugging out that much. I'm going to get closer so you can see. You see what I'm saying right here? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I got that pocket in. I ain't going to cut that one off. That one's not near as bad as this one was. I was looking like I had an elephant trunk coming out the side of my leg here. But what I want to know is, you think I should probably just, you know, either add a square pocket to the side or to the front, or just leave it alone? And I got my pocket on up here, and it's a pocket and a pocket. So what do you think? Think I should put another one on? I mean, I got the material. It won't take but a little bit to put it on, but I don't know. I don't know if that'll look silly. Here it is. I chopped and got it off.